right, welcome to episode 32 of the Cigar Snob podcast.
32 or 31?
32 because it says 31, but we're going to put another one in between.
Sneaky.
So welcome to episode 32 of the Cigar Snob podcast. I am Nick Jimenez, joined by Eric Calvino.
Happy 601, y'all.
And Ivan Ocampo.
Good day, everyone.
It is 601 day. So congratulations to Eric Espinosa on the anniversary of his...
Made a return.
Look at that. Congratulations to Eric Espinosa on the anniversary of his losing his virginity. In celebration, we are smoking something special from the Cigar Snob Vault. But first, a word from our episode sponsor, Villiger Cigars. Villiger Cigars, celebrating 130 years in tobacco, unveils its first ever full-bodied premium handmade cigar in the Villiger La Vencedora. The Villiger La Vencedora is the follow-up cigar to the highly acclaimed Villiger La Flor de Inclán and Villiger Sandoro Colorado. This Nicaraguan puro, wrapped in a beautiful Nicaraguan Habano puro wrapper, boasts a potent, full-bodied smoking experience featuring highly seasoned, hearty flavors. The Villiger La Vencedora, which translates to the Victor, emits a billowing aromatic smoke throughout the smoking experience. The Villiger La Vencedora, a palate-pleasing, full-bodied, yet elegant cigar that will satisfy the cigar connoisseur as well as the casual smoker. Okay, as we mentioned, today is 601 day. We're recording this on June 1st. And so to mark 601 day, we are smoking... Oh, there it is. We are smoking 601 La Bomba Warhead II. This is a cigar that we dug deep into the humidor to pull. It was released July 2014. Only 20,000 cigars total were made. And this is from Eric Espinosa's La Zona factory in Estelí, Nicaragua. It features a Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper with binder and filler from Nicaragua. This was made in just one size. It is the Robusto Grande, a 5.5 by 56. So when we pulled this out of the cello, it's nice and yellowy brown. A lot has come off of this warhead.
Yeah, it's in 4 years sitting there, man.
So I think we all remember this being a bit of an ass kicker, aptly named.
Hence La Bomba.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Everything in the La Bomba line was meant to be, an ass kicker, and this definitely was.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts so far on the cigar? I think we all we're farther into it than we normally are at this point.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts so far? Now we're all like half.
Well, we had some like fits and starts, right?
Right.
One of the members of the podcast kept pausing, so as a result, we are farther along than normal. But yeah, I think I get a lot more chocolate than I did before. It's like tons of chocolate, where before it was maybe more peppery. But I get chocolate and earth.
Yeah.
They're dominating right now. But very enjoyable.
Yeah, the peppers have definitely subsided. It's nice.
Much to your liking.
Yeah, I do like it.
Yeah.
I've always liked all of 601's products. This is has aged nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely heavy on that chocolatey characteristic, which it would not have been way back when. I mean, it had that, but it had a lot of that.
Yeah, it had a lot of other things going on. And I think, this can be, you can look at this as like kind of like a rule of thumb when it comes to aging cigars, right? If you start with something really strong, you have a very good chance of getting something extremely enjoyable a couple years down the line. So this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah, especially if it's extremely strong, but also balanced, because that
course.
strength will fade. Sometimes you get those extremely strong, like pepper bombs, and that's all they're bringing to the table.
You're right. Yeah.
Here, all that other stuff is kind of, given a little room.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start with a good cigar, right? You can't just be a strong, shitty cigar and then hope that it gets better. That's not always going to happen, or rarely going to happen.
Yeah. So far so good. We're fans of this. Congrats to Eric again. This is also his wedding anniversary, the anniversary of the first time he went to Nicaragua. So a lot of things a lot of occasions we're marking with this one cigar.
I hope all of that didn't happen the same day.
Right. Yeah.
Married, lost my virginity, went
In
to
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
I could see it happening, but
Listen, it's Shorty, right? Anything.
possible.
He is the alpha dog.
There you go. An alpha dog does what an alpha dog does. Speaking of alpha dogs, one alpha dog had his day ruined by somebody from his pack. This was a sloppy transition.
Yes.
But we are recording this the day after Game 1 of the NBA Finals, when LeBron James secured his spot in every highlight reel, not with a dunk or a pass or a three-pointer, but with flailing, frustrated arms in the direction of J.R. Smith, who had a now very famous blunder at the end of regulation. You guys saw the game?
Yes.
What were your general impressions of that and the rest of what happened? Because there was a lot
I was
else.
beyond impressed by LeBron. I mean, I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, right? As I've been saying before, he carried the team and he
dropped
did
50.
so. Yeah, he dropped 51 on him. He was amazing. He really was. And to lose on such a shitty play by JR.
and we talked a little before we came on air. I think they got jobbed on the,
Yeah,
on
and
the
they
charge.
got, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
Because he put up 50 points, but then he made that great defensive play to get in front and seemingly get the right call initially.
Yep.
But then they went to the video replay and they reversed the call, which I had no idea you can do.
Which they never do.
Yeah,
That's the
and
the part
did.
that is a little strange, right? They never reverse these things. It's the call is made and the call is made. It's a foul. It's a foul. Yeah, it's not a foul. It's not a foul.
Right.
And so, but in this case, in the NBA Finals, they decided to go and overturn this. That was very strange and questionable. So I didn't like that, but I still thought the game could have been won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that what they changed the call to was the right call, but obviously it's one of those interpretation things, and it becomes an issue of like, was he moving? Why was he moving? Was he moving to set himself, or was it just so? But in any case, super impressive LeBron James performance.
And pouting at the end.
And what?
And pouting at the end.
Impressive pouting.
Yeah.
The part that was not impressive was when he walks out of the press conference.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like he picks up a purse, but he's wearing like dark sunglasses, so he can't really see well. So he ends up like having to tilt his head back.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Which makes it look. It was weird. It looked kind of feminine, like an effeminate move that he made, holding a purse, tilting his head back. It was really just so he could see, but it ends up looking very strange. So I was like, "What are you doing there, Chief? Why the purse, the man purse, and why the dark sunglasses and a very, walking through a dark hallway? It was weird."
Yeah. So if you haven't caught this is the press conferences after the game. Naturally, everybody asked, all the reporters, every player was asked about this J.R. Smith situation, and
there was a lot of laughing.
Yeah, and he basically storms off. Storms may be strong, but he definitely like just abruptly gets up and leaves when he's asked by the same guy for like the third time.
Yeah,
whether he knows whether J.R. Smith was aware of the score and what was his frame of mind or whatever. Gets frustrated and leaves. Everybody else was asked about it. I thought the Warriors players were gracious enough, right? Like
they were, but the reporters themselves were
laughing
laughing
about it.
was,
Yeah. But like even Durant was like, I do dumb stuff. It was a really bad time to do a dumb thing.
Yeah.
But and there were other things in the game that were also fun to see. Did you catch Draymond Green's little shimmy?
The dance,
at James?
Yeah, but it wasn't a graceful dance either.
No, I couldn't tell what
a
that
funky
was.
Yeah, like what was he doing at first? You couldn't tell if he was having a seizure or
Right.
if he was trying to dance. So that was odd, but still fun, entertaining. That's all we can ask for, right?
Yeah, if you're a person who's on Twitter, I like being on Twitter, especially in the fourth quarters of games.
Twitter
people,
was great.
And it was instant Draymond Green GIF.
Yeah.
That was all over the place. So make sure that you look for Draymond Green's little dance. What are we looking for in Game 2? And, on the one hand, it's pretty impressive that in an away game, James came
They
that
could have
close.
stolen it. right? They could have stolen an away game.
Yeah. On the other hand, they didn't,
Yep.
and now you have a really well coached, stacked Cavs Warriors team ready to make adjustments, and up against a team where not as much of the team is capable of adjusting that quickly.
Well, so the thing that was noticeable was in overtime. It was the Cavs were deflated, and you could tell they were in a little bit of disarray. And so what I'll be looking for is, does that continue? Are they still deflated here in Game 2, or do they come out like, hey, listen, we could have taken one, let's take this one?
Yeah.
Right. So that'll be interesting. That's what I'll be looking for.
Yeah.
Curry defends LeBron. Doesn't
yeah,
that seem weird?
Well, they were switching. They were switching constantly, right? And then
But
the
at the end of the
switches
game,
always ended up
with Curry on LeBron,
Curry on
which
LeBron,
seems
which I
like
thought
a
was
tremendous,
terrible.
yeah,
Yeah,
disadvantage.
Yeah.
which I think aided in the 51. Right, he was able to just dominate on that end of the floor.
Yeah. On the other hand, Curry and Thompson and some others, I mean, you expect it from Green, but there was some top flight trash talk.
Oh yeah, and they
Especially
ball
down
in
the
the
stretch.
face.
Yeah,
Tristan
and the ball in
Thompson.
the face, which also doesn't bode well, right? I mean, between Tristan Thompson's frustration, which has to affect the rest of the team, when you start putting balls in people's faces, it just creates this air.
Where are you going with this, Nick?
Well, right. Here we are again with the balls. But yeah, between that and then the morale kicking the balls that J.R. Smith's situation has to be, at least for him. I mean, how do you come into Game 2 not a little embarrassed?
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see all that, and I definitely think also, the fact that these teams have met so many times just heightens all that emotional layer a little bit. So cool to watch.
For sure.
Cool to watch.
So, by the way, did you smoke anything while I watched the first half in my backyard. So yeah, I was enjoying a little after the event that I went to. I came out of the event with some pretty good smokes. Do I talk about that now or later?
Later.
All right.
Okay. You did go to a Top Golf recently, though.
I did. Yeah, my family has completely taken to this Top Golf phenomena. I don't know if it's a phenomenon, but it's a place.
I'd call it a phenomenon, right? I don't know how long they've been around, but it feels like it's gotten very popular very fast.
Yeah, well, for my family, it's been beautiful. Like, I've gotten my kids to really get into golf, where before, like Ivan says, going to the range at Palmetto is just not that fun for kids.
Or for anybody.
Or for anybody, right? Yeah, the heat, and it's like...
Yeah. Can we explain what Top Golf is for people who don't know?
So it's a multi-level... At its most basic level, it is a multi-level driving range.
Bowling alley.
Yeah, but mimics a bowling alley in the way that you play the game. So the range has holes, large holes, targets that you aim at. You know that you're moving that over there. It has large targets that you aim at, and associated with different points. So you play games based on where you're hitting to and whatnot. And it makes it a lot of fun. And there's food and there's drink and there's music.
Music,
So
yeah,
it's a damn good time.
I think Top Golf is probably doing for golf the same thing that Tiger did, where it made it it's put it in the limelight. Where people are talking about it, even though you're not into golf, and people are actually talking. I have people come up to me on the street. Hey, we went to Top Golf. They want to put Instagram posts of being there and looking cool. I mean, I think it's a great thing for the game as a whole.
Absolutely. But like you said the other day, it's not like playing golf, But it's like being at the range with an extra kicker. So
yeah,
I enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah. How's it scored?
So it's all on. It's like if you were bowling, it honestly is.
Or like skee ball.
Yeah. Well, so when the machine dispenses the ball for you, that ball has been, I guess, RFID'd with your unique identifier. So wherever it lands, the scoring system knows what to give you.
Okay.
So every time you dispense a ball, it's got your ID on it. So that and that automatically reflects the score, right?
Cool. So
So we can do a Cigar Snob outing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no cigar smoking in Top Golf, but
What I can do.
it is a big what I can do.
So you were at the one in Indianapolis?
So yeah, we've gone to the one here in Miami Miami Gardens. Gone a couple times, and then while we were in Indy 500 last weekend, we went with our buddy Steve Ross, and he had never been. So it actually, the Top Golf is in the neighborhood that he grew up in, which was really interesting for him. But anyway, yeah, it was cool. A great time.
Is there a significant difference between one Top Golf and another?
No, other than the fact that people in Indianapolis are a lot nicer than people in Miami, but that was about it.
I've been to the Vegas one. The Vegas one's different.
Yep.
Vegas one's got a pool. They got girls. They got waitresses in bikinis. It's different. And you're on the strip.
Vegas.
It's Vegas. It's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, so now you know Top Golf. If you've been to a Top Golf, let us know. Or if you go to one, let us know what your experience was like. Maybe sneak a cigar in there and take a picture of it or something. You can get to us at feedback@cigarsnobmag.com. In the meantime, a word from our sponsor, El Galán Cigars. El Galán Cigars makes the El Galán Reserva Especial, which comes in 4 box-pressed sizes, the 5x52 Airosos, the 5 3/4 by 54 Apuestos, the 6x52 Gallardos, the which is a torpedo, by the way, the 6x60 Obesos. All of these are 100% Nicaraguan tobacco with Jalapa Oscuro wrappers. They are available in stores nationwide. You can find them online at elgalancigars.com. That's ELGALAN cigars.com. Also search for El Galán Cigars on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They're at El Galán Cigars. Say it a few more times. El Galán Cigars. El Galán Cigars.
You talking about El Galán Cigars?
I am talking about El Galán Cigars.
Love them El Galán Cigars.
Nice. Here's hoping they don't steal that tagline and not pay you. Yeah, so El Galán Cigars. Anything else we want to say about El Galán Cigars?
I think you got it
this
time.
So, switching from El Galán Cigars to other people's cigars, the news from Cigar Town. General Cigar announced the launch of Diesel Whiskey Row, the product of a partnership with Rabbit Hole Bourbon. The cigars, which feature a bourbon barrel-aged Mexican binder, are blended and manufactured by A.J. Fernandez in Esteli. According to General, Diesel Whiskey Row features a 3-region blend of Nicaraguan tobaccos from Ometepe, Condega, and Jalapa, each aged 5 to 8 years. The tobacco, along with the Mexican binder, is covered in an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. So that launches this month, June. It's available in 4 sizes: the 5.5x52 Robusto, 6x54 Toro, 7x49 Churchill, 6x60 Gigante, and they range in price from $7.49 to $8.99. High Clear, if you want more information, go to dieselcigar.com. High Clear Castle.
Is it pronounced High Clear or High Claire?
Maybe High Clear.
I think it's High Claire.
Let's go High Clear. High Clear Castle Cigar Company has partnered. What happened?
That's just as American as you can say, "Hi, Claire."
Yeah, High Clear Castle. You want to give us your British High Clear?
Hi, Claire.
I believe it's Scottish, but hey,
is it Scottish?
I thought so.
I think the castle is supposed to be where the
or
home
English.
Which is what he said.
I thought you said Irish earlier, or the accent he did was Irish.
Oh boy!
All right,
shit show
we're very
with
confused
High Claire.
here. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of British. It's one of those British countries. So High Clear Castle Cigar Company has partnered.
Yeah, Newbury, UK.
Yeah, it's British. I guess they're British.
Yep.
All right. High Clear's Castle Cigar Company has partnered with Nicholas Melillo of Foundation Cigar to craft its cigars in Esteli. The cigars feature a Connecticut shade wrapper, a Brazilian Matafina wrapper, and fillers from Nicaragua, including an exclusive hybrid seed the company calls Nicadang. The resulting smoke is exceptionally smooth and elegant with notes of pepper, citrus, leather, and fireplace, says High Clear's release. I like notes of fireplace. I'm actually, is this the first time that you've seen fireplace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be trying this, and looking for fireplace. But I'm excited about that.
It's one of my relaxed sounds to go to bed.
Yes. It's
I
second
think-
on your playlist after the
After
salty
salty
massage.
I think of
Salty
high clear
Cheeto.
cigars when I go to bed.
But in any case, I mean, it is being made by Nick Melillo. I wonder whether this is at Aganorsa. It mentions in the blend that it's all Corojo and Criollo, which would be consistent with, if you were making it there.
Yeah.
But we'll look into that. Stay tuned for more information on the next episode of the Cigar Snob podcast. But Nick Melillo is involved, which definitely bodes well for the blending here. Highclere Castle, by the way, is the home of award-winning television drama series Downton Abbey. The estate's tradition has always been to retire to the library for cigars and whiskey. And according to the release, Lord Carnarvon, I could be saying that right.
Yeah, because you spelled it different in 2 spots there.
Somebody else spelled it differently.
I would live with it.
The current 8th Earl of Carnarvon, I don't know, is the owner of Highclere Castle and the farmer of the 5,000-acre estate. He is an active partner in the endeavor. So I just mentioned that quote in there. It's kind of interesting that they have a British farmer who it's not often that you have somebody outsource the process of making a cigar, but who themselves is involved in agriculture of some kind. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something that I think we'll look into or ask about more, especially the next time we talk to Nick. So stay tuned for more on that too. All right, and that is the news from Cigar Town, the clunky news update
That was
from Cigar Town.
pretty damn clunky.
You're welcome. Speaking of AJ, we mentioned him in the in that first news update. Eric, you were just at an AJ Fernandez dinner here in Miami. How'd that go? Tell us all about it.
Oh, that was awesome. It was at Sabor Havana Cigars in Doral, and so AJ was in attendance, and we smoked among other things. We smoked Ramon Allones by AJ Fernandez, which is an excellent cigar, by the way. And it was catered by Ruth Chris Steakhouse, which is pretty awesome. And then there were cocktails and spirits by several different manufacturers. And with the dinner, we drank Dwayne Wade wine,
Nice.
which I'd never had, and I was impressed by it. We had the 2014 California 3 by Wade. And it's a blend, but very nice with the steak. So, in terms of how the actual dinner was, obviously Ruth Chris steaks, Dwayne Wade wine, and AJ Fernandez cigars is freaking awesome.
Nice.
George Aquiles, I think my invitation was lost in the mail. Just thought I'd let you know. We're going to have to double check the address you have on file for me.
George and Aquiles, for those of you that don't know, are the owners of Sabor Havana Cigars in Doral. Great store in Miami. If you land in Miami and you have to go to one store, that's the one to go to.
Yeah.
So-
So did you mention, was there a particular AJ cigar that was-
Ramon Allones.
Ramon Allones, right.
Yeah, so the Ramon Allones by AJ was the featured cigar, which is the newest of AJ's products. It's going to be interesting because I think that this Nicaraguan civil unrest has caused problems in the shipping of a lot of different cigars. But the timing of it really messes up this particular cigar because they were launching it in a handful of stores. They launched it, I think, in New York, and then Sabor Havana, Cava Cigars, and Neptune here in Miami. But then the rest of the stores in the country won't get it for a little while until this stuff clears up in Nicaragua. So that's a shame because it is an excellent cigar. I can't wait for you guys to try it.
So when you were talking to people at the dinner, was there any interesting insight or feedback on the on that issue of all the stuff that's going down in Esteli, and in Esteli specifically, but across the country?
So
And I know that we have that farther down, but as long as we're talking about it, we might as well bring it up.
okay, all right. So yeah, quite interesting, right? I spoke to several different, because it wasn't just AJ there. There were other cigar manufacturers who have operations in Nicaragua, and so I did speak to several of them, and yeah, there's quite a bit of contingency plans going on as we speak. Stuff I can't really share. However, yeah, there's moves being made as we speak by several different manufacturers, and there's talk of many more. So everyone's talking about it over there. the situation in Nicaragua has gotten just yesterday. I think they had the most violent day since the beginning of the protest. So this hasn't gone away. It doesn't look like it's going away. It's anytime soon, I should say. So it's scary for the cigar business.
Yeah.
And these people need to ensure that we're going to be able to continue to buy their cigars long term. So they are making moves to ensure that. So yeah, there was quite a bit going on, right? And one of the interesting little tidbits that I got was no one seemed to be thinking of Honduras as the contingency plan, which I thought was incredibly interesting, right? I mean, it's right up the road. You could easily move your raw material and your operation up the road to Honduras, but the sense that I got was that MS-13 has such a, and for those of you that don't know, MS-13 is a very violent gang that is throughout Central America, but not in Nicaragua.
Right.
And so a lot of these guys didn't want to move their operation to MS-13 territory.
Right, you're just adding another risk. First, you got FDA
Yeah.
issues. Now you have Nicaraguan unrest, and now why do you want to deal with MS-13?
Exactly. So obviously the big loser here is Nicaragua, right?
Sure.
And potentially us, and if there's a shortage of the cigars that we love, but then the second loser was Honduras, right? Instead of getting all of this business coming into their country, I didn't hear anyone telling me that they want to move there. So the Dominican Republic was kind of the move.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
From multiple sources, Dominican Republic was the move, and so I thought that was incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Right. That you'd go that way, right? Labor's a little higher in the Dominican Republic, but man, it is as stable as a Caribbean country gets. So I think they're all sort of looking for that stability in their contingency plan.
Right.
Obviously, the best thing would be to be able to just stay in Nicaragua.
Of course.
But yeah, very very interesting stuff. We're gonna see some moves being made here in the short term.
Yeah. In terms of the ideal political outcome, because all these people, that's where it all hinges, right? I mean, the impact that it has on their businesses and what choices they have to make hinge on what happens in the political side of Nicaragua. So the protesters, by and large, are calling for Ortega to resign.
Yep.
Do you hear anything about, at least the people you've spoken to, how sympathetic are they to that cause, to that objective as a potential outcome, or do you hear from them, I would rather that it go this or that other direction?
No, I didn't get a straight answer on that. It was more about, I don't know. It was more like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make sure that I can continue to do the only thing that I know how to do, which is make cigars. So there was that sort of, which is very different from back in the day. And by the way, it may have to do with who I was speaking to. But back in the day, gentlemen like Jose Orlando Padron, and the Plasencias and the Olivas, and they would all get involved in these political process in Nicaragua when things were going down. I didn't get that sense from not just yesterday, from everyone else I've spoken to. I didn't get that sense that there was a way for them to talk. Right now, I haven't spoken recently to Dr. Alejandro Martinez Cuenca from Joya de Nicaragua, who does have some more visibility and access.
Yeah.
But I haven't spoken to him recently.
And who's Nicaraguan, so he may feel more invested in that question.
Correct. But yeah, it was interesting for me that everyone was thinking, I'm moving my operation, at least temporarily, to the DR.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I asked a couple of these guys was, if you're making cigars in the Dominican Republic, will they be Dominican cigars, or will they continue to be the exact same cigars that you make? And overwhelmingly, it was no. It will be a Nicaraguan cigar, but it will be made, in the Dominican Republic, for now.
Right.
So anyway, those moves are in the again, it'll just be very interesting to see what happens and publicly what can be said and what can't be said. So
Yeah.
there's a lot going on, man, and it's not pretty.
And it's a shame for these people in Esteli who have, over the course of the last couple of decades,
I got a lot of that.
Yeah, their whole, you get the sense that their outlook has been very different from the rest of the countries because they're sort of insulated in this. Everything revolves around Cigars bubble, and it's not like there's a ton of poverty. There's plenty of poverty in Esteli, but in terms of trajectory and how things have changed, things are looking up.
Yeah, and so what I did get a lot of as well from these guys was, how badly they feel for their people, right? Their employees. For example, in the case of AJ, he has a hospital on site. He has a little school for the child, a daycare for the kids of the rollers and things like that. And he feels, he felt terrible for the workers that they don't have that ability to get there. I mean, I don't know if people are really watching what's happening there, but streets are being barricaded with bricks. I mean, it's crazy right now in Nicaragua, right? These homemade mortars, they're using these all over the place. And so it's not safe to even just go to work right now.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, a lot of the people that work in these factories don't even live in Esteli.
In a lot of cases, they don't.
So they have to commute in.
They have to come in through the Pan American Highway, which is being blocked. So yeah, it's a disaster, man. It's a very sad situation, and to have one of the most violent days. I mean, just yesterday, I think 15 protesters were killed.
Yeah.
So this is just yesterday. So, it's sad that it seems to be escalating instead of just winding down.
Right.
Even the Catholic Church has called off all negotiations. They were mediating between the protesters and the government,
mm-hmm.
and with all of this violence, they've said no, we're not even. We're at it. We're out of here. We're not involved
here. Yeah.
So, not pretty. Not pretty. What's happening in Nicaragua? But we pray that things get better very soon, man.
Absolutely. So, there's no easy way to transition out of that topic, so we'll just jump into another one. On the last couple of episodes of the podcast, you heard us go through our, maybe not recommendations, but just sort of, our favorite cheap wines and hors d'oeuvre spreads when we have people over to, when we're entertaining. A little something different this time. We thought we would talk about YouTube tutorials. So, increasingly, and this has been the case for a long time, people use YouTube as sort of a search engine. And there's just all kinds of information there. Aside from cat videos and music and whatnot, there's a lot of how-to material. So, 3 questions. What are some things that you've done using YouTube content as a guide? Is there something you would like to do that you anticipate you'll use YouTube as a guide for? And if you were to make a tutorial, what would yours be? So let's start with that first question. Is there something that you've done recently that you remember using YouTube as tutorials as a guide for?
I constantly use it. It helps me.
The stories of Ivan using it to fix cars.
Home improvement for sure. But as a lot of you know, I play golf, and I think YouTube specifically has helped me improve my golf game more than probably anything that I can, especially any like training aid or DVD series or book that I've ever bought.
So you're saying short of like of an instructor?
I've actually had even better instruction on YouTube than I had with instructors. Well, I'm a different scenario because I kind of know what I'm doing, so I kind of know.
Kind of a big deal.
But I understand what I'm doing wrong, so it's very easy for me to search specifically for either whatever exercises or technical like fixes for specific things that I'm doing wrong. So I search for the specific item that I'm looking for, and then I get a bunch of recommendations from YouTube because they know what I'm looking for, and then the most hit ones, and I start looking at these, and I'll do either drills or I'll start practicing whatever they are. So it's helped me out tremendously.
Yeah. Have you found that there's maybe there's like a particular person whose videos you watch more? Does it make are some of the people that you found most useful like kind of nobodies that you didn't know who they were before, or are they like big name golf people who?
Again, I'm a different kind of cat because I'm a good judge as to if I can tell if you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So if I can, some people have name recognition. So for example, the big instructors like Butch Harmon or David Ledbetter. These guys have tremendous name recognition. I have like a whole series on like Pete Cowan, who's over in the UK, who they when they go over like certain things, they're kind of it's kind of off the beaten path instruction. It's not like the run of the mill type of
stuff. Yeah.
That most instructors will teach you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, for me, it's been an incredible help.
Yeah, Eric.
So yeah, I've used. So the first time I smoked ribs, I did. I used YouTube. I didn't. It wasn't like I took exactly what was being done and mimicked it to a T. Because I have, as a smoker, I have a big green egg, so I took some of the tips from YouTube tutorials, some from the egg cookbook, and then some from people I spoke to, and I sort of combined them all into doing. But definitely used it for smoking, and then also more recently guitar, right? So not guitar lessons per se, but like learning a song. So I'm a terrible guitar player. I'm the opposite when it comes to guitars. I'm the opposite of what Ivan is to golf, right? I'm a terrible guitar player, but I have a good time with it. And but anyway, to learn songs, I have used YouTube quite a bit.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Well, we got to do the unplugged version of this show.
Oh yeah,
and he's got to play something for us.
There you go.
Oh, a whale.
Free bird.
How about you, Nicholas?
Yeah, so I've done some minor home improvement stuff using YouTube for help, especially like electrical things that I had never done before, and even though they seem pretty straightforward, I was like, let me consult, see if there's an electrician on YouTube or something, because even doing something simple, if there's a misstep, God knows, some of those things, fixing them after you screw them up can turn out to be pretty expensive. So
Electrified Nick.
Exactly. So that. Some car stuff, especially like things that are pretty simple, but every car's got like that stupid little, release in a different spot for getting a filter out or whatever. So ends up being a little easier just looking up on YouTube than like flipping through a manual for God knows how long before you finally find.
Yeah, and usually you can find it like by the year of your car. I mean, it's very easy.
Exactly.
To do, so.
Yeah. So a lot of car and home improvement stuff, and also some cooking things. Which brings us to the next question. What is something that you have not done but intend to do and you will use a YouTube tutorial for? I'll start, since my segue was food related, probably Chicago-style pizza in a cast iron pan.
Nice.
So that's going to be my next move.
I did it. I watched the video, and then I tried it at home, and it came out spectacular.
Yeah. So
I recommend making your own sauce for that.
Right.
Whoa.
So you made your sauce from scratch?
From scratch, yeah.
Nice.
I think you got to make it a little bit thicker when you're going deep dish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's watery, right, it gets all like super soggy.
Yeah, it doesn't work, and the sauce goes on top.
Look at you, Marzano tomatoes.
It was amazing. You know I used the Marzanos for sure.
Hell yeah.
Marzano Campo. Eric, you got any upcoming projects?
Man, so this house, we have a bunch of people over a lot of times. Just a couple of days ago, we had a bunch, and everyone parks on my grass, which is fine because there's just a lot of cars. There's nothing you can do. But wherever the cars park, invariably weeds grow. The grass just gets in bad shape. And even with all this rain, the grass is not looking good. So
Same
I found
here,
this
bro.
dude.
Preach, brother.
Yeah. So I found the dude on YouTube, but you got to give me a second to find him. But so I found this guy, Alan Hain. He goes by Lawn Care Nut, and so I've been looking at his videos on what to do for grass and whatnot for the lawn. So I'm gonna be doing that. Maybe doing that this weekend. So
I'm not gonna lie, I've been searching for the same stuff on YouTube. I've been watching a couple dudes do lawn care and what chemicals they're putting in it to kill weeds and what post herbicides and stuff like that you gotta put.
So check this guy out though. Lawn Care Nut, really freaking good.
I've watched his stuff.
Yeah, he's a badass. Well, I mean, he's got like 180,000 subscribers. So yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a badass. But I think he's confident enough where he knows what he's talking about.
Well, but he's worked in that business for years.
Okay.
And then now he's applying that stuff to his own lawn. So
It's all attitude, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he sells it.
That's the name of the game in lawn care is attitude.
It's like salsa dancing. You don't have to know what you're exactly doing, but just look confident doing it.
Right.
All right. So,
Ivan is the king of that, by the way.
Yeah.
with the attitude and the salsa dancing.
that might be my next video.
Your tutorial, salsa face.
So here's my next video that I'm going to watch on that same path that you're going on. Since I've been cutting a lot of grass lately, this is not a tutorial on how you do something. It's a tutorial on how it's a video on how stuff works. I might sound stupid saying this, but I've never been afraid to to do this. But how does the cable release on a weed whacker work? Like how exactly? I know when you press down on the button that's on the bottom of it, it releases.
Yeah.
But
we had this conversation a couple of days ago. And
We did?
Yours is different than...
It doesn't have the thing where you like hit it on the bottom and it releases it. Yet I constantly have to be respooling the weed whackers. I have no idea. So that's my next video. Like, how the hell does this work?
I think your video is going to end up with buying a new weed whacker.
Probably.
How to buy a weed whacker.
Yeah, how to buy a new weed whacker.
All right, and then we'll come back around this way. Ivan, if you were making a tutorial of your own for consumption by others, what would it be?
Consumption by others. As I'm smoking on the cigar, I'm blowing smoke rings. Can I do a video on that?
You can. That is a very visual
Would
thing.
you
so
be
this
able
is the
to
right
explain
medium.
this?
Ooh, look
Okay,
at
as he does it
that. Ooh,
into
right
the
in-
mic.
oh,
Into the
put
mic.
a ring right around the mic. Nice.
Right on the mic.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to explain it.
Other than like showing you how to put the perfect like blowfish face.
Yeah.
And then a very skinny tongue
So
in the middle of the channel.
Go like this, and you make your tongue skinny.
It's gonna be a good video.
Yeah. All right, so keep an eye out on cigarsnobbag.com for Ivan's smoke ring tutorial.
Mine would be much more boring. Probably something camping related. We do a lot of camping with the family. We go camping in the Keys during the summer. We go camping up north where it's cold. So probably something camping related about, doing that sort of range, right? I think that's where you run into trouble. When you have a camper that you're used to camping in the warm weather down here, and then you go up north and you get into, sub-zero temperatures, making sure your camper can handle that stuff. It would probably be something about that.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, it's not terribly exciting.
No, hey, but that's useful. I think some of the most useful things are the ones that are not super exciting.
Yeah,
but they end up...
for anyone who has an RV, man, it's like it really is like a mini home. Like all the things that go wrong in your home, whether it's plumbing, electricity, construction, it happens in a very reduced space, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because of how they're built, but it happens over and over. Like I have water issues all the time, and I have to change shit out, and so yeah, it's in an RV, things go wrong very quickly and very often.
And a lot of people are getting into RVing. It's like I hear a lot of people talk about like new people like buying campers and stuff like that. So I would imagine these videos should be very helpful for these type of folks.
I don't know if I'll ever do it, but
yeah.
But thanks for the encouragement.
Sure. Nick?
I'd probably go the food route, just because that's really what
because that's your highest, most seen video on your channel.
Yeah, so my personal YouTube channel just has a lot of personal, but there was a period of time
Personal
where
goofiness.
But my most watched video is it's got close to 8,000 views, and it is titled "Making an Egg White Omelet."
That was creative.
Yeah,
It's a creative title.
it's just me making an egg white omelet. There's not much instruction in there, but
No, there isn't. I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Or
There's-
play by play.
or play, but there's nothing. It's just
It's
just some
just
funky
watch
music.
me do it.
Yeah.
Do as I do.
And I think if I were making a full-fledged tutorial, and it's really not something that needs the visual, but it would probably be steak related. I'm pretty proud of my Cuban coffee steak rub.
Oh, look at this
Ah.
now.
I'd
Something
probably
that
go that
also
route.
has not been shared with us.
That's true. I'll bring the grill one of these days, and we'll do a little steak rub, steak eating.
I'm ready.
I haven't eaten it in a while because Elsie has scaled back her coffee consumption.
Oh, really? Now, just to give us a little, because you've talked about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
But what is this Cuban coffee rub? Does it involve actual coffee or coffee grounds? Or
Just the coffee grounds, right?
Used
so,
or new?
new? Yeah, new coffee grounds. Do not. This is point one in the tutorial. You want to make sure these are new coffee grounds. But yeah, it's
you go with a particular company? You're a Bustelo,
This is
Pilon,
Bustelo, this is
La
Bustelo.
Llave?
Butelo all the way.
Bustelo gourmet or regular straight up Bustelo?
Regular straight up Butelo. Yeah.
Steak with a kick.
I would make mine with gourmet.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no doubt.
you know,
about
to
it.
each his own. To each his own.
I just love that one.
So
Can you go to sleep after you eat this? You'll be up for like 3 days.
I don't know what effect the caffeine in grilled coffee, what the situation is there. But that's a good. I'm not sure.
Test lab.
Test lab. So, but yeah, it's primarily Butelo coffee grounds, brown sugar, and then a bunch of other spices, like salt, pepper, and then like some hotter stuff like cayenne and that sort of thing. So
I'm down, dude. Bring that shit in.
let's do it. So that's what we'd be doing on YouTube. Keep an eye out, or don't, for our tutorials. Next up, back to our featured cigar. So I think we're all about halfway into this.
Yep.
Right? How do you guys feel about it so far? I think for me, it's gotten a little more balanced. It's not as heavy on the chocolate.
Yeah, and the strength has kicked up a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's never going to get back to what it used to be, of
Sure,
course.
yeah.
But no, it's definitely kicked up. And you're right. The heavy chocolate has kind of come back down, and it's more in line with the pepper and earth.
I'm surprised how much complexity it still has, you know?
I'm getting a lot of wood, too, here.
Yeah, wood, leather, espresso, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super nice.
Rub it on a steak.
Rub it on a steak. That's tutorial number 2. Is the 601 La Bomba Warhead II New York strip.
I've only got 3 of these left, so if you're going to do it,
Let's
do
chop
it
it
right.
up. Let's chop it up. Cool. So that is our update on this La Bomba. If you do come across it again, as we mentioned, what was the last thing that was pretty well aged that we pulled that we were super happy with? Was it the Master
It was
Collection?
the Room 101 Master Collection 1.
Yeah. So this is another one that has aged exceptionally well. If you come across them, don't pass them by. All right. So NHL update. The update. There you go. Not much to our update. The NHL Stanley Cup Final is tied at 1 game apiece. That's Capitals versus Golden Knights. But before we started recording, we watched some video from the super over the top, only in Vegas show that's put on. What's the name of their arena? I don't know what their arena's called, but in whatever the Vegas Knights play in.
It's like an eBay arena or something like that?
Is that what it is? The eBay Arena, AT&T Arena, the Verizon Arena.
Cut in name here.
T-Mobile Arena.
So the T-Mobile Arena was home to a pretty over-the-top pregame show. It was, I think your description, Eric, was good. It's like medieval times on ice.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. So there's a lot of light-up projection onto the ice, and there's not cannon,
Sword
but,
fighting on skates.
and flying knights.
Yes, flying
Or
knights.
was that the Capitol? Is that why he was?
I think
in
he
a red
was. I
cape?
think he was. I think he was flying.
Which I
when
thought
they
was
played.
kind of odd because, like, why is the Capitol guy flying? You'd want your guy to be the cool one on wires or whatever. But hey,
Yeah, I don't know whoever conceptualized this show.
I thought it was awesome.
it was awesome.
It was
Awesome.
a bit long though, no?
Who cares? You're there. You paid top dollar for this. It felt like you were at
Yeah,
a
we
Las
talked last
Vegas
time about how much they were, yeah.
or with Michael Buffler. Buffler.
A buffler. Put a buffler on.
Let's get ready to rumbler.
But yeah, Michael Buffer with the "Let's Get Ready to Rumble" was a super Vegas touch.
Made it amazing. I'm just so excited for the Raiders to move there. I can't wait for one of those openings.
Like, he had this like childish grin on his face the whole time he's watching the video, like excited about what the hell's gonna happen when the Raiders go.
With Derek Carr dressing up like a knight and flying down from the roof of the stadium.
Like a raider.
I can't wait.
He's
like a pirate.
Like a pirate, yes.
But, I mean, you got to figure, if that's how big the NHL is doing it in Vegas, imagine the NFL. That's going to be a huge production. Yeah.
Wet pants here.
Ivan just wet his Raider pants.
Paper towel, please. So when is it that they start? Next year? Next season?
I don't know. Either next year.
I'm very
There's
excited.
a lot of excitement here for...
It's either next year or 2020.
Okay. So not this coming season.
Yeah, so make sure that we've talked a lot about YouTube. Chances are that hopefully you'll get on YouTube and look up some of the stuff we've talked about. While you're there, look for the Las Vegas Golden Knights pregame show at the Stanley Cup Final. Pretty intense, pretty impressive,
Pretty Vegas.
and pretty Vegas. It looks like a Vegas show, which is that's what it is. All right, before we move on to our parting recommendations, a word from this episode's sponsor, Villiger Cigars. Villiger Cigars is celebrating 130 years in tobacco and unveiling its first ever full-bodied premium handmade cigar in the Villiger La Vencedora. It's a follow-up to the highly acclaimed Villiger La Flor de Inclán and Villiger Sandoro Colorado. The Nicaraguan Puro is wrapped in a beautiful Nicaraguan Habano Oscuro wrapper and boasts a potent full-bodied smoking experience featuring highly seasoned, hearty flavors. The Villiger La Vencedora is a palate-pleasing, full-bodied yet elegant cigar that will satisfy the cigar connoisseur as well as the casual smoker. Make sure that you visit Villiger online at villigercigars.com. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/villiger.northamerica, Twitter at Villiger Cigars, that's cigars with an S at the end, and Instagram at Villiger Cigar, just Villiger Cigar, no S at the end, on Instagram. All right, as always, we're rounding out this episode with our parting recommendations. This is where we're telling you things that you should eat, smoke, drink, do, watch. Ivan, what do you got?
So we talked cheap wines in our last episode. Supermarket wines, affordable supermarket wines. So I'm going in the other direction, and still not expensive, but a little bit more pricier than whatever we were talking about. I'm going with the Cross Barn by Paul Hobbs Cabernet. So I had a 2013 bottle, which was about $37. It was badass wine.
Yeah.
So Paul Hobbs,
Is he the one from the
Lord of the Rings?
No. That would be a Hobbit. No, I'm talking about the baseball movie. The Robert Redford baseball movie. Isn't he Hobbs in the movie?
Field of Dreams.
No, Robert Redford.
42.
Jesus Christ.
Give me every baseball
League of Their Own?
movie.
Sandlot. I think it's the Sandlot.
I can't believe it. I'm not remembering it. The Natural.
And now, dude.
Hate your boy. Anyway, his name was Hobbs.
All right.
Maybe.
I'll take your word for
I'll
it,
take
Eric.
your word for it. So
Roy Hobbs.
So if you guys aren't familiar with Paul Hobbs, so this is a quote from Forbes. They refer to him as the Steve Jobs of winemaking. So the guy knows his stuff. He started off with Mondavi. Was one of the first vintners on the Opus, I guess, launch. Yeah, when they started, and then he went to Simi. Then he opened up his own winery, and he's made a bunch of different lines, but this Cross Barn is very good. It's a 92% cab blend, so it's a full body, a lot of fruit, a lot of complexity. Go out and get it.
Do we know where somebody can get it? Is there somewhere online?
Where'd you get it?
Yeah, where'd you get it?
How'd you
I
come
got
across
this. I got this great little wine shop by my house, which is actually a gas station, but it's not your typical gas station. This place is badass. It's called El Carajo. Shout out to El Carajo, who has its own little restaurant. The place is badass, and they used to be one of our advertisers.
Yeah, early on.
They've really they've really grown their business. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, we must have helped.
But you can pick it up at Total Wine also. Shout out to Pablo Estales at Total Wine. We got to bring you in for one of our podcasts.
We really should. I think
talk
it's
juice.
long overdue.
So yeah, check it out.
So, Eric, I'll let you go last because I think yours is the best one here for rounding out the show. My recommendation, back to YouTube, is a channel called Nuance Bro. So, Nuance Bro.
2 words I did not expect to see together.
Yeah. So, Nuance Bro is a guy out in California who the channel is heavy on the political themes. But the best thing about him is he does a lot of going to like big protests, and I think is the most even-handed of all the people who does those like man on the street. What are you doing here? What do you think? And he gives you like a pretty good cross section of like there's some. It's a reminder that like nobody has a monopoly on stupid. There's stupid people on all sides of all these protests, and also ends up talking to some people who are pretty knowledgeable who he clearly maybe disagrees with or whatever, but. If you're into that stuff, and especially if you see coverage of these big protest movements, that it seems like now there's a new thing people are protesting en masse every week. Check out his YouTube channel. He does he does a pretty good job. He's doing yeoman's work covering these in a way that you also I think this is another thing that YouTube and just the internet broadly is great for. You see a lot of these like relative nobodies or like beginning journalists doing things at a level and with a transparency and value that nobody in legacy media is doing. So there's a lot of garbage in those man on the street things where it's clearly selectively edited to portray this side one way and the other side a different way, but this guy's doing a pretty good job of giving you a clear picture of who's going to these protests. With that, Eric, recommendation of the episode.
My recommendation is to go out and get yourself a Trumpy Bear. Yes, that is a thing. So I was watching the History Channel very late a couple days ago, and I saw this ad for the Trumpy Bear. Can we put the audio for this?
We could. Yeah, I've already downloaded the audio, and we'll put it right here.
The wind whispered through the forest. A storm is coming. You cannot defeat the storm. From the trees rose a resounding voice. I fear nothing. I come when the trumpet sounds. I am the storm, the great American grizzly. Introducing the original Trumpy Bear, the fearless, super plush American grizzly. Trumpy Bear was born June 14th, Flag Day. Just find the secret zipper and pull out the flag blanket. Then wrap yourself in the red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth. Show your patriotism and proudly display Trumpy on Flag Day and on any American holiday. Trumpy can even honor your own family heroes.
God bless America, and God bless Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy Bear sits proudly at the front of the motorcycle for all the world to see and loves to cruise with his brother.
I'm a former Marine, and I'm proud to have Trumpy Bear ride by my side. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Everyone knows Trumpy Bear loves to go to the golf course.
When I ride with Trumpy Bear, he makes my golf game great again. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Simply style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair. Even the toughest guys will love Trumpy Bear.
When America is great, business is great. When business is great, I am great. I love you, Trumpy Bear.
I am an Army veteran. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Order the super plush Trumpy Bear for only $2 payments.
If you don't love this thing, I mean, you don't have to be a Trump supporter. You don't have to be a Trump lover. My God, that thing is classic, right? It's this teddy bear with a Trump hairdo and an American flag like in his back, like you pull it out. It's just awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. I need to order one.
Absolutely.
For the office.
And I love the testimonials. Those testimonials that they used.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
I'm a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, and I love the Trumpy Bear. The Trumpy Bear helps my golf game. Shut up, dude.
Too good. Yeah. Se la comió.
Awesome.
Whoever did that.
Whoever came up with that was a genius.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I think we're done.
We're done. Trumpy Bear leads us out.
All right. Thanks to the Trumpy Bear people. Thanks to Eric, Ivan, and our sponsors. We don't ever thank people at the end, but whatever. Okay. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.